Okay, so I was watching Andy Womack this morning, Ephesians chapter 3. We're on the 10th of November, 2023, in case anybody wants to go see the whole video. So I'm going to play a clip here. It's just a few minutes. I think it's about 4 minutes out of the video that stood out. And for anyone that's praying for healing, this is another nugget. But thank you, and I'm going to play it right now. Here we go.
Says in verse 19, you will be filled with the fullness of God. I'm telling you, you don't need to do something else to get God to move. You don't need to call the prayer chain and get 1,000 people praying and putting pressure on God so that God will do something. God has already moved. It's not God who's stuck. God has provided everything, and what we've got to do is learn what He's done for us, get our minds renewed to it, and then start doing things. Yes, still living holy. Yes, taking your authority. Yes, speaking, but you aren't doing those things trying to get God to do something. You are speaking forth your faith because you believe it's already been done. I tell you, I had a situation where our son, it's a long story, I won't go into the whole thing, but when he was little, he fell, and he was running through the house and he fell, and we had a coffee table that had a corner to it, and so it came to a point like this, and he fell and hit his ear right there. And I mean, when that happened, it bled, and then he had this knot come up on his ear. And so Jamie and I prayed over him, and the knot went down. But did you know the next year, on that exact same day, that knot came back? And that happened every year on the exact same day for 12 years in a row. I can't understand how that is anything physical. I don't understand why it would happen on the same day every year for 12 years. I just looked at it as being a demonic attack against us. And so we got to where it happened so often, we were kind of expecting it. And around that time, we would look, and sure enough, this big old knot would come up right above his ear. And we would go to praying and resisting and fighting. And I mean, one year this thing came up, and I was fasting. I began a 3-day fast, and I was, oh, God, heal him. And I was just fighting, and I was frustrated. And I remember saying, Lord, I just don't understand why this is so hard. How can this come back? I'm doing everything that I know to do. And you know, the Lord spoke something to me that really made a difference. And He said, the difference is you are fighting trying to get healed instead of fighting because you are healed. He says there's a difference. And see, I was fighting trying to do something to, oh God, release His power. And I was doing everything trying to get God to do something instead of believing that God had already done it and just resting in that. And so when He spoke that to me, man, I just said, that's it. I'm through fighting for this healing. I'm standing here fighting that it's done. And I just began to fight against the doubt and the fear and all of the thoughts that Satan was coming at me with. And I remember that year we got over it. And then the next year, we were having a devotion, and I remember as I was praying with Joshua, getting ready to go to bed, I saw that knot again, and instead of me doing something, for the first time, I just looked at that, and I told Jamie, I said, see that? I said, the devil is so stupid. I said, we've already won this. I'm through fighting for this thing. It's a done deal. And I didn't pray about it, and I didn't rebuke, and I didn't do anything. I just rested in what God had already done. And did you know that thing went down and it never came back? That was the end of it. I know that this is counterintuitive to a lot of people, but you've got to get to where you believe that Jesus has already done everything, and you refuse to get out of faith in that. Sometimes, did you know that actually pray?
Okay, so that was the clip that I wanted to share, and it's something that you probably don't normally hear a lot, but sometimes if we're praying in fear, it can actually work against us. So Yeah, just as a student of the Word, we're just trying to reach out and get a hold of all the truth that we can, and so that we can walk in what God has for us. And that's all I wanted to share today. Thank you, and God bless you.